Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Boba7772 and today we're going to be doing a review of the new Walking Dead Season 5 Episode 1. So without further ado, let's do this. This is getting good. This episode's inspired me to go back and watch the second half of Season 4 because it's just wow. So pretty much what happened is they take Rick, Daryl, Glenn, and Bob out to this slaughterhouse thing, and you see the guy who Alex, I believe his name was, who Rick got killed last season by holding him, and Marion shot him at the very end. So he's on a table and they're like getting ready to do stuff with him. So they bring these 4 characters into this room along with 4 other characters. Now one of these 4 other characters is a dude that we saw last season who Rick and Carol, when they went out, they saw the guy and the girl, and then the girl ended up dying. We don't know what happened to the guy. Well, now we do. He's one of these people. They go up and they hit him on the back of the head with a baseball bat and slit his throat, and blood pours into this drain thing. And they do it with all the other ones. And then they're about to kill Glenn, and Garrett walks in and he's like, bullet count. And then like, one of the 2 guys gives a bullet count, and they're about to hit Glenn again, and he's like, bullet count. And the other guy looks at him and he goes, oh, I forgot. He goes, it's fine. We can go check later. So he goes, okay. And then they feel a couple of explosions and whatnot. And then Garrett goes up to Rick and is like, yo, I saw you hide a bag. What's in there? And then he gets Bob and is about to kill Bob. And he's like, tell me what's in here. Or are you really going to let me do this? And Rick tells him exactly what's in the bag. Some kind of sword with a red handle, a certain type of crossbow, a couple guns, and then Rick goes, that's what I'm going to use to kill you with, and Garrett kind of laughs, and he goes, because there's an explosion, and then they're about to kill Glenn again, and there's a huge explosion this time, and they all get freaked out, so they start talking, and Rick has this wooden Chev thing that he uses to cut off the things binding his wrist, and then he goes and kills the 2 guys in here, but he doesn't kill them. He doesn't like hurt their brain. He's like, no, let them turn. He says that, and the 4 guys in there who are still alive, Glenn, Daryl, Bob, and Rick, kind of get makeshift weapons and go out to see what the fuss is about. Well, in the train car still, we see the rest of the characters, and they're kind of making their own type of weapons to use, with like belts and all this other stuff. Abraham has these cool like triangular shivs on his wrist that just stab you with. Kind of reminds me of the hidden blade from Assassin's Creed, which they were kind of making all this at the beginning anyway, before it got really messed up by Terminus. People dropping flash grenades in there was really funny. Okay, so after that happens, Rick and his group go out and they see that zombies are invading the place. Well, we cut over to Tyrese, Judith, and Carol. They find this cabin. They talk about, I think, Daryl and Michonne kind of refer to him, or Carl and Michonne, 2 of them. And then Carol puts a gun to the back of his head, takes him prisoner, takes the walkie-talkie away, and Tyrese and the baby stay there with this guy who has his hands binded up. Well, Carol's like, okay, I'm going to go check out Terminus, because obviously they have our people, so I'm going to go rescue him. So she goes to Terminus, and Tyrese stays there, and the whole Tyrese part, I'll just get that out of the way, it was pretty cool. It was actually one of my favorite parts of the episode. So pretty much what happens is Tyrese looks out the window because there are these zombies, and then the guy goes up to Judith and puts his hand around Judith's neck, and it gets really dark, and he, after talking to Tyrese for the longest time, like, you should have killed me, blah blah blah, you have to kill or be killed. And then he puts his hands around Judith's neck and tells Tyrese to go outside where all the zombies are. So Tyrese goes outside, and then the zombies eventually stop growling. The guy kind of gets word and kind of slowly makes his way up there. And then Tyrese goes in and just starts beating this guy. And he's like, I won't kill you, I won't kill you. And apparently ends up killing him. That's what he tells Carol in the end. I'm not sure if he does. It looks like he does. He beats the heck out of him if he doesn't kill him. So while this is happening, Carol goes to Terminus. She sets off fireworks, does a huge explosion, kills all these people, and she gets the zombies to pretty much invade Terminus. And then she goes in kind of mucked up with the zombies, walking with them, and she starts shooting some Terminus people, goes inside. She finds Daryl's crossbow and a couple other things, and takes a couple other things, including Daryl's crossbow. And she goes, and eventually Mary finds her in a room and she's like, yo, put the gun down. And then Carol starts putting her guns down and then goes back and shoots at Mary, or swipes at Mary with something, and Mary has to dodge it real quick, and then her and Carol get into a fight. Carol pretty much wins. She goes, where are my people? And then Mary doesn't talk, so she shoots Mary in the leg. Mary falls, and they talk for a bit, and then Carol is like, I'm not gonna kill you. And she goes and opens the door, and zombies come in and kill Mary. So the zombies kill Mary. Carol goes back out, and the rest of the people, they go and find this other train car and let this crazy guy out, and the crazy guy's like, we're all the same, or something like that. Then he goes and gets himself killed. There's a couple really cool action scenes, like Rick comes and stabs this guy in the back and takes his machine gun and mows down like 5 or 6 guys. It's really awesome. Then they go to their own train car, release everyone, and they all escape, and they're all in the forest now where the guns are. And then they see Carol come back up, and Daryl just it's so happy, and it gets your heart happy. And Daryl goes up and hugs her. He's so happy to see her, and then there's no expression on her face. But after kind of rewatching the second half of season 4 with the last episode, The Governor's in too, I think that it's justified that he doesn't have expression, because he's kind of worried about her if she ended up killing Karen and David, because he kind of was, I think that he kind of had mixed feelings sort of the whole thing. Like, he was so glad that she was back, but also like, okay. And then Rick's like, thank you for saving us. He's like, was that you? Thank you. And you can tell that Carol and Rick are good again, which is really good. I like that they did that part. So Carol brings them back, and they see Tyrese and Judith, and Sasha sees Tyrese. Rick and Carl run over to Judith and start crying. It's so beautiful, especially once again after going back and rewatching the second half of season 4, how much they were upset over Judith, especially the episode called Claimed, where Carl is so upset over Judith. It just, wow, it really gets you right in the feels, right in the heart, man. Right there. Right in the heart. So it's really, really, really good and interesting. So then they eventually walk off, and then we go a flashback thing that and we learn more about Terminus. Pretty much Terminus used to be a sanctuary for all let people in. However, some people came in, killed their people, raped their women, laughed at them, did all this stuff, kept them prisoner. We figured out that Alex, the guy who died at the end of last season, and his body was on the table, and Gareth are brothers, and their mother is Mary. And they raped Mary and raped a bunch of other people, and they were really sick. So Garrett's like, we're going to take this place back. You're either the butcher or you're the cattle. So, yeah, wow, this is really good so far. I can't wait to see where they go with this, since they're done with Terminus. But Garrett, it doesn't look like they're done with him. I'm guessing he's probably going to die at some point, but I don't know. So all in all, this was an absolutely amazing episode. It wasn't my favorite episode. It wasn't like the one where the governor cut somebody's head off, and yeah, you know that episode. I think that's season 4, episode 8 or something. That was one of my favorites. And then the last 2 of season 4 were absolutely wonderful. There were just so many great episodes. And this is one of the great, but it is not the best, the single most best. But it's really good. It's probably the best season premiere that we've had. That in season 1 was pretty good too. But it was just all in all really good. So if you don't watch The Walking Dead, what are you doing? Are you living under a rock? What's wrong with you? No, just kidding. But it is so amazing. You're gonna get obsessed. You're gonna want to play the game, the Telltale game. Oh my gosh, the game has feels. You're going to want to read the comics. You're gonna want to read the books. You're gonna want to get the figures. I mean, it's so addicting. It's so good, and it's really good with character development too, because it's not just like, you know, it's not just about zombies. It's not just kind of a thing for survival. They actually have characters with personalities and stuff, which I really like, and I think is absolutely spectacular. It really adds to it, and it's really good. So I'm going to give this episode a 5 out of 5. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't really see anything wrong with it. It was just absolutely wonderful. So that's pretty much my review on that. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, Boba7772 out.